Hey guys, it's Pixie here with this week's topic. Ruth is away until I think the end of this week, so she might catch up with a video of this herself. So the topic we were looking at this week was our thoughts on pro-ana or pro-anorexia. And when I thought about making a vid on this topic, I kind of thought, oh, well, that's great, it's easy. I know what I think. Pro-ana is dangerous. It's annoying. It's horrible. Um, but I think some of those thoughts can be quite dismissive of what the real issues are. It's too easy to say, oh, well, that's terrible, as if that's all there is to it. You know. But I think if you look at pro-ana as a symptom in our society, to make it our problem, not just focusing on the individuals who are part of these pro-ana communities, it gives you a bit of a different kind of perspective on it, because I think that a lot of the sort of underlying things in the pro-ana sort of communities and movements are such a huge part of our society that we just take for granted. The basis that pro-ana isn't the same as anorexia. It's not. And that comes from the fundamental kind of misnomer that people think anorexia is a look. People say, oh my gosh, she looks anorexic. Anorexia is a mental illness. It's not a look. And we get that from the media and all sorts, even professionals. Professionals have become so dismissive. Like, so many people have tried to seek help and they've told, oh, well, you're not underweight, you can't have an eating disorder. And I think that the sort of pro-ana community really sort of reinforce that message, that to be anorexic is to be super, super skinny. And then there's all those sort of things that are attached, these meanings that are attached to being super skinny. It's that sort of lifestyle of having it all, being super successful, you know, having the job, having the guy, having the life, and being gorgeous and thin, and whereas in reality, anorexia isn't a way to be successful, and it's very hard to be successful at life in general when you're anorexic, because it's kind of the reverse, because it's very hard to have the career and have any relationships with people and to have the perfect life, and it definitely isn't gorgeous. So I think that's a really big issue, with both it's kind of a bit chicken and the egg. Do pro-anorexia communities reinforce that, or are they based upon that? And I think it's probably a bit of both. And the dangerous aspect, of course, of pro-anorexia communities is that they really normalise dangerous behaviours and dangerous states, and also minimise the impact of being really sick. And I think the real confusion comes, the real complexity is that some people who are pro-anorexic are anorexic. And that's why I think the boundaries become so blurred at times, because there are people who are anorexic who are out there taking extremely emaciated photos of themselves and posting them up as inspiration, as something to strive to become, and that's why I think it gets very hard for people to say that they're two separate things. But I think it's really important that we keep on trying to separate them out, even though that separation is kind of superficial and kind of a little bit too simplistic. But I think it's important because it helps with some of the misunderstandings, that To have an eating disorder, you have to be really skinny, or to have an eating disorder, you must be engaging in these really dangerous behaviours, and that being thin is worth it. You know, that being thin, above all else, above your health, above your relationships, above anything else, is worth it. And it's not, from my opinion, it's not. Um, but I also see how, um, as a society, we kind of create um, this sort of we create this void that sort of draws people into that. You know, it's like, because who doesn't want to be, you know, skinny and successful and whatever? You know, it's like we're kind of drawing people into that. But I think you'll find that, you know, it's with anorexia, you know, with the pro anorexia bit taken out, you know, there's some serious issues underneath all of that. People quite often who are anorexic don't become anorexic because they want to be skinny and pretty and have it all, kind of thing, as in the pro anorexia, where that's kind of the aim. Even though, I mean, I'm totally not dismissing that people who are pro anorexic have underlying issues for that. You know, obviously there are. Obviously, if someone is wanting to be that dangerously underweight and to put themselves in that much danger, there are, you know, there's definitely issues there. But I think with anorexia, it's more understood that there are issues underneath it. With pro-anorexia, that's sort of glossed over, that no, it's not a disease, it's not something wrong, it's not an aberration, we are choosing to do this. Um, and that comes down to, you know, a deeper issue about what is choice, what is free choice, um, how is it that these people are choosing um, to live so dangerously. Um, so I've rambled a little bit, but in a nutshell, I think that's really some of my sort of beginning thoughts on the issues. I might update at some later stage when I've had a chance to clarify things with myself a little bit. But yeah, hope you're all doing good. Stay tuned because we are keeping on, keeping on. I'll see you soon.